Next up, we have Drift with lyrics Happy Chaos theme from the Guilty Gear Strive soundtrack. Once again, everybody, this is a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician, a composer, and my objective here is to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what's happening here, musically. So, if you like the sound of that, make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever you're going to use, like the video, share the video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, become a member. Once again, everybody, don't forget to join the Discord server, the gaming channel, how to request songs if you're not on the live stream, members getting early access to the content. I have a spiel for this and a bunch of other things at the end of the day, so at the end of the video, so stick around for that. Disclaimers showing on your screen right now, so go ahead and pause the video to read them in full. Otherwise, please be patient with me. I am acoustic and guitarded, so please keep that in mind. Also, I don't have a script, so yeah, I do. Anyway, let's do this. Drift, let's go. Okay, so we start, that's 2 jazz standards in a row. So we start with a jazz piano and a drum, giving us an initial, a very short intro, and we are dealing once again with a song. So, songs are going to be very, we call everything a song, right? Like, it's just easier to call everything a song, but there is a categorical distinction between songs and instrumental music. Instrumental music, you can also call them pieces or tracks, or there's many names for these, but the main distinction is that songs are going to have lyrics, they're going to have vocals, and these vocals or lyrics are going to be the driving force of the music for a substantial part of the duration of the track, or of the composition itself. Now, in this case, looks like we are dealing with a jazz song. Jazz music, jazz songs tend to be a little bit tricky in terms of this, because they bounce back and forth between lead sheet and non-lead sheet stuff. So if I bring out where are you? If I bring out here we go. If I bring out the blue bossa lead sheet, this is usually what a jazz band would look like. We'll look at when it comes to the sheet music. You can see this is a very simple composition. This is a very simple looking composition, but this sheet is what everybody in the band gets, and everybody gets enough information to know what to play. So here, for example, in the upper left corner, you can see medium up bossa, because it's the blue bossa standard, so you play in bossa nova. Then you have the key signature, the time signature, you have the melody written out here. Above then you have the chords written out, and then you have extra notes over here, and then the ensemble can then make more choices as it's having. Is improvising lyrics a thing? Yes, usually that's usually more of a thing in rap. When it comes to improvised rap, they have a name for it, but that is more common when it comes to rap. When it comes to jazz, it's not so much improvising lyrics as it is just going bop boop bop beep bop bop bop. Like, that's more often than not what you're gonna hear them, and it's not so much gonna be to improvise lyrics, but improvise using your voice as an instrument. You know, that kind of singing that is used as an instrument. You use the voice as an instrument, and you join in with the solos. Because when it comes to jazz, usually it involves that, yes, you play over here, you can see, right? Play head twice after solos, diez al coda. So then, play head twice, that usually means the melody, which is the melody of blue bossa, you know. It's a beautiful melody. Then that's not the whole melody, but the idea is that you play that a couple of times, and then the accompaniment, the rest of the band stays playing the chords while you rotate solos. And sometimes, for many of these, like if it's a song that includes in the sheet music, it includes lyrics, then the vocalist will sometimes jump in and play and sing a solo in that way. So right now, we are not entirely sure if that's what we get, but what we did get was a short intro giving us the initial accompaniment. And now we are in our first verse. Now, when it comes to music in the 20th and 21st century, we moved away from the romantic and prior structures of music, which used to be a kind of like poetry in motion kind of thing, where you would have your text. Let me just read my you would have some sort of text, and you would then write the music to basically just represent what the text was, and then we moved to you have the music and then you write the text to adapt to it. So now we use verse and chorus as the main two blocks instead of what music used to be. If you want composer that would exemplify the pre-verse chorus type of writing, listen to Frank Schubert. Schubert. He wrote a ridiculous amount of songs, something like 1,100 songs, and all of them sound incredibly different. His three most popular ones, or most famous ones, are the Stanchen, which is the Serenade, the Der Erlkönig, the Earl King, and their Doppelganger. Doppelganger, I think that's how you write it. These three are vastly different. Like the Stanchen is na 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 na, that melody. Then you have the Erlkönig, which it's a very weird one because it's a song for piano and a solo vocalist, but the vocalist is playing four characters: the narrator, father, son, and the Earl King. And it's all for that. And it's one of the most brutal pieces for piano, by the way. The Erlkönig is one of the most brutal pieces to play if you're a pianist. And then the Doppelganger, which is a very dark, very slow song. And each one of these vastly different, but you can tell that it's the text brought to life. That was the one played by the Music Box? I think so, yeah. So yeah, it's one of your random German word name in the background during these. You're welcome. So yeah, these three songs, like my favorite one is the Doppelganger. It's just such a somber song, you know. Still ist die Nacht, es ruhen die Gassen. Like that kind of just super somber. Like the whole like each of these have their own story to tell, and that is before the whole verse and chorus that we had. After that, musicians then moved to the verse and chorus structure, which is just easier to use. But with that, we ended up sacrificing some of the elements that we used to have. There's still people that do the old ways. It's just not as common anymore. So yeah. Beautiful voice. So yeah, no, let's with that, we are now in the first verse, and as I said, verse, chorus, those are the two main building blocks. Your verse is going to be basically your baseline floor level of intensity. You're going to be singing more lyrics, you're going to be using more text, your melodies are going to be a little bit more held back, so that then your chorus, being your ceiling, can have those high peaks, those high points. Anyway, let's see. Nice. Let's see where this goes.
10 years to find the answer, something I forgot about it in 2 seconds.
We bring a guitar.
That's about it.
Okay, and we immediately, so we have a quick verse. We kind of tease a chorus, but we go straight into a break. You hear the vocals basically get interrupted there, and we move to the guitar. Now, something important to note was what the piano was doing. The piano was improvising the whole time. The piano is giving the chords that they have to do, and after that, it's figure it out. Jazz metal, it is not uncommon. Like if you want jazz metal, the Diablo Swing Orchestra is my favorite band when it comes to jazz and metal fusion. Like these guys, they are more avant-garde, but their first 2 albums are brilliant. I haven't heard the other ones yet, so I don't have an opinion on those just yet, but the first 2 albums are just mwah. And that is that is jazz metal right there. I think Barlog Boogie, I think is the name of the first song in their first album. It's brilliant stuff. Brilliant stuff. And right now it seems like we're leaning a little bit more on the metal side, maybe. Let me hear a bit more. have the bass there. Yeah, we switch over to metal. Okay, so we switch over to metal, and now we bring in a metal riff. A riff is going to be a motif being the smallest version of a musical idea, the seed, the essence from which everything else comes from, with an ostinato, often with an ostinato. Ostinato being when you repeat something over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, with little to no change, and then that being played on a guitar, or a keyboard, or a bass, or one of these contemporary instruments. Right now is in a guitar, and it looks like we're about to go into the next verse. Let's see where this goes. No, it's more like pre-chorus. Okay, so yeah, we had the pre-chorus there. The pre-chorus, as I said, verse, floor level, chorus, ceiling level. Excuse me, pre-chorus is going to be like some connective tissue, whether your walls, your stairs, whatever it is, and it's going to connect the two. And now, from the pre-chorus, we go straight into that chorus. A lot more melodic, a lot more climactic than before. We're having those high notes. Let's see where this goes. No, this might... No, I think we're still in pre-chorus side. We teased it, we're still in pre-chorus. It's difficult to tell, yeah, the structure is all over the place. New riff? So pre-chorus break? Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, there we go. So yeah, we switch now to a very different metal over here. We're basically bouncing back and forth between jazz and metal over here. Very chaotic in that sense. The guitars here very chaotic. The drums very difficult to keep up with. This piece has a lot going on for it in that sense. And of course, you know, it's the happy chaos theme, so it makes sense. But now we have that those climactic vocals, that intensity for this. Could this be considered a kind of gent? Yeah, you could, like, right now this falls under prog music, progressive metal. This falls under progressive / avant-garde metal, which is basically we are switching back and forth, we're changing things around, we're making the music as unpredictable as possible, which is one of the less popular genres of subgenres of metal for a good reason. Because when you're making music, you want to keep a careful balance between what is familiar and what is new. Too much familiarity, too much repetition, you risk boring the listener, they tune out. Too much new material too quickly, you risk overwhelming the listener, they tune out. What is the difference between metal and rock? Historically, rock comes from blues. It's basically a heavier version of blues. Metal is classic. Rock is based on blues. Metal is based on classical music. That's the main difference. That rock, hard rock, rock and roll, and these ones follow more closely blues standards, whereas heavy metal tends to follow a bit more on the classical side, which is a little bit more theatrical, it's a little bit more dramatic, but more bombastic kind of thing. Whereas in rock, let me just move this a little bit. In rock, it's a little bit more on the bluesy side, and then from there they spiraled themselves. Anyway, let's see where this goes. Oh, it's very prog, yeah. So funny to think of metal being comparable to classical. If Beethoven had the instruments of today, he would be in a metal band. If Tchaikovsky had the instruments of today, he would be in a metal band. Like, metal and classical, they follow so many, to the point. I am professionally trained in classical music composition. My personal project, the Saga of Genghis Khan's Final Conquest, is orchestral metal. With a full orchestra, and it sounds like classical music to an extent. My friends over at Seven Spires, incredible band. They are symphonic metal, and their stuff, they change, like their style has changed a lot, and with their albums that has evolved a lot. But for example, their album their album Emerald Seas is basically, like 1930s and 40s Disney, the one that had these beautiful music, this kind of music. What if that kind of Disney made metal? That is their Emerald Seas album. It's beautiful, it's orchestral, and it's incredible. And they like their more recent stuff as well, like A Fortress Called Home has some insanely good orchestral music. So yeah, like just because you didn't know that metal and classical are basically one, now you know. So let's see where this goes. Zombies made it sounds like metal. Yes, it does. Okay, second half of the chorus. Talking about experiment throughout metal. There you go. Okay, so we just go. So it turns out the chorus is split in two halves. We have the more metal side, we have the more melodic side, and now we are. I like how the drums kind of foreshadowed this part a little bit, because the drums accelerated and stabilized, then the guitars followed, then the vocals followed, and now let's go. Symphonic metal does slappeth. Yes, it does, Mega. It really does. I really love symphonic metal. It's one of my favorites. Anyway, let's see where it goes.
It took me 10 years to find the answers.
Verse 2.
I forgot about it in 2 seconds.
So now we go into verse number 2. We are bringing now aspects of both metal and jazz. We are basically just using metal drums, like the mix that you would use in a metal drum set for jazz rhythms. We are having the guitars doing what you would usually do in jazz, but with the distortion. Let's see where this goes.
I don't have anything.
The piano's still doing the same thing as before.
That's why everything is beautiful.
Very cool swing we have here, yeah. Break number 2. Break number 3. Because we had a break back here as well. So yeah, I like this so far. We've had this whole duality of things where one part is always going, we have the first and second part. One part is usually lighter than the other in some form of way, except in the chorus where it flipped. Let's see where it goes. Back to this riff we go for the break. So it's the pre-chorus, yeah. Pre-chorus 2. Playing again, almost the same way as before, which is a pretty good pre-chorus. Oh, the vocals here, dude. Those beautiful chords over there. There we go. We go for the break. Break number 4, same as we did before the chorus. And now chorus number 2. Almost 1-to-1. Different lyrics, same chorus, same structure. Oh, the drums, dude. Oh, so cool. Oh, we switch it back down and second half the chorus with the melodies. Nice. So, usually in most metal, after the second chorus, you would have a solo. Usually a guitar solo. Let's see if they put one here. Solo? We have that's very lovely ending of the chorus.
Can you hear it? The pulses of the living.
And we don't. We go the other way that you can go, which is your bridge. A bridge is going to be, if your verse is floor levels, intensity, ceiling being the chorus being the ceiling, your bridge is going to be basement. It's going to be a complete contrast that makes that journey back to the chorus that much more pronounced. So we now have this bridge. We have completely gone off the ramp being a colloquial term that I use. Colloquial, by that I mean there's no official academic definition for this, or at least I'm choosing not to use it for the sake of simplicity. And off the ramp is what I call a particular type of transition that makes your listener feel suspended up in the air at the mercy of inertia, waiting to see where they land. How do you do this? Remove the drums, maybe the bass. In this case, just keeping the vocals and the piano. Beautifully done. This can be as long as a whole section, which in this case seems to be the whole, that's probably going to be the whole bridge, or it can be a couple of beats. Let's see where this goes.
The ironic rhythm is a grand orchestra.
I love the more operatic voice that he's doing now. Welcome to the head. Welcome back.
There can be
Beautiful harmonization. Okay, we bring a flute, violins, orchestral arrangement. There's French horns, there's chimes. Oh yeah, jumping back to the chorus is gonna be wild. We have the chorus with an orchestra instead. We have the chorus with an orchestra instead. Oh my god. You see what I'm talking about? You see what I'm talking about? We had that beautiful, completely contrasting bridge, and now we bring it back up to the full speed, and my god! And I think that's gonna be the outro. One more run of the chorus, and we're probably gonna use this as the outro, I think. Nice. Nice. Very dancing, and similar as we did before. We slow down, we bring the outro with some of those orchestral elements. And we do one last run of the jazzy metal band. And there you have it. We finish it with a half cadence over here. And there you have it. So half cadence when you're making music. So yeah, we ended up having chorus 3 and then outro. Beautifully done. Very interesting with all the breaks that we had, but that's the structure. So when you're making music, you're doing one of two things. You are building tension or you're resolving that tension. That point in between we call the cadence. Now, this is usually the point of expectations and meeting the expectations, usually done with your chords. Now, the half cadence is basically when you build that tension and you intentionally don't resolve it in the section that you're in. That way, you can create momentum so that you go into the next part of it, the next section, the next phrase, or so that you can, for the next track, or so that you can loop back to the start. And we've seen that over here. We're running out of time, so I'm not going to self-promote, but yeah, I've done that as well. My songs Second Conquest and As We March, they do that. They're orchestral melodic death metal as well, so it's intense music, but yeah, Second Conquest builds up, half cadence ends the song, resolved in As We March, and right now we saw that, and with that, there you have it. That was Drift with lyrics, Happy Chaos theme from the Guilty Gear Strive soundtrack. Once again, everybody, this has been a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician and composer, and my objective here has been to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what's happened here, musically. So, if you're watching this on the YouTube video archive thing, thank you for watching. Make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever you use, like the video, share the video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, become a member. Once again, everybody, don't forget to join the Discord server. That's where everything gets announced first, whether it's the streams going live, the videos going up the channels, updates, projects, giveaways. Everything gets announced there first. Of course, we have the community there. We hang out, we chat, we steal memes from other people's servers, claim them as our own, and where I host our Vintage Story community server. It used to be a Minecraft mod. Now it's its own standalone game. I love it. I prefer it. I'm not sponsored by them. I just really like the game to the point that I built a PC just to host a server for it, right? Which is available in the Discord server. So in general, join the Discord today, linked in the description, and become a member of our community. Also share these videos with everybody that you know. Use the hype function on YouTube. We have a group on the Discord that coordinates for us, so help the channel grow, yes. Members get early access to the content. I schedule the videos for the week on Saturdays, and if you're a paid member on YouTube, regardless of your tier, you get access to the videos when I schedule them, at least for the LFAs. So become a member today. If you want to listen to this without me interrupting every 3.5 seconds, I'll be linking in the description down below. If you want to request a song and you're not on the live stream, check the pinned comment on this video. It has the instructions what to do. If you want to catch the streams when they happen live, we aim for Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Central European Time. We stream live on Twitch, YouTube, and Kick so that you can tune in from whichever platform you prefer. Again, 6 p.m. Central Europe. If you're not in Europe, do not worry. We have the full up-to-date streaming schedule showing in your local time zone in both Discord and Twitch. So if you live in Puertecito, which is like a little port, and you're like, yeah, well, what time is 6 p.m. in Hungary? I don't live there. Do not worry, just go to Discord or Twitch. Both are linked in the description, and both will show the schedule in your local time zone. And follow the gaming channel. I have a gaming channel because, of course, I have a gaming channel. I'm on YouTube. What else could I possibly have? Games are Basterd. That's where I put the gaming after show recordings when they happen. Recorded live during main channel's after show. We play some video games in the second half of the stream, and then the VODs of which go over here. Lately, we've been playing through Limbo's Company. I've been doing the voice acting for it. I'm having so much fun with it. So yeah, every game that we play eventually ends up here. So linked in the description, or just search on YouTube. Same username as James R. Basterd. Just up the J for a G, and you got it. And yeah, there you have it. Drift, Happy Chaos theme, Guilty Gear Strive. That was so much very interesting stuff. Really good stuff, man. Really good stuff. But yeah, let's move on.